and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Business Point here on Global Television, your hub for topical discussions in the world of business, government policies, tech, and innovation. Today, we'll be bringing to you a rundown of the news making waves in the world of business, as we will also be looking at the stock market. I'm Queen Agapa. Fasten your seatbelt and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Many thanks for staying with us. It's Business Point here on Global Television. Now, Meta has announced that Lemma Impact Grant, a program aimed at empowering sub-Saharan African startups and researchers to leverage artificial intelligence (AI) for social impact. This initiative is part of Meta's ongoing efforts to promote AI-driven solutions that address pressing challenges in Africa. The key objectives of these initiative is to foster AI innovation that addresses social impact issues across Africa, and to also support the development of AI-driven solutions that would promote economic development, science, innovation, and public services, as well as education and skills development. The impact of the Lemma 3.1 grant program would offer grants of up to $100,000 to selected applicants, and also it seeks proposals from organizations with innovative ideas for using Lemma 3.1 to address social challenges in their communities. It also gives special consideration to applications focused on economic development, science, innovation, public services, and education. Some of the questions asked are the eligibility and selection criteria. It is open to individuals affiliated with a valid business, non-profit organization, academic institution, or research institute in operation for at least 1 year. And also proposals will be evaluated based on demonstrated utility of Lemma 3.1 applicability, impact, technical feasibility, and business plan. Now, the impact also of the SSA Hackathon, the hackathon event that brought together participants from sub-Saharan Africa to develop AI-driven solutions using Meta's Lemma AI technology, is funded by Meta and the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation, held in Kigali, Rwanda, from October 8 to 10th in 2024. Now, this Meta's Lemma Impact Grant Program would empower local developers and entrepreneurs to build AI-driven solutions that address critical societal challenges by providing funding, support. Meta also seeks to promote innovative solutions that would drive positive change in African communities. We look forward to seeing these initiatives bolster in the African setting. Now, Bitcoin has surged past $82,000 as FOMC meeting sparks market anticipation. One big story right there. Bitcoin's price has surged past the $82,000, driven by market anticipation ahead of the Federal Open Market Committee (FOMC) meeting. This surge is part of a larger trend with Bitcoin's market capitalization exceeding $1.6 trillion and institutional investments reaching new heights. Now, historically, Bitcoin's price has rallied after FOMC's meetings, with some analysts predicting a potential breach of the $100,000 mark. The current market sentiment is bullish, with investors optimistic about Bitcoin's future prospects. Now, the factors contributing to Bitcoin's surge that we need to look at, one of which would be BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, IBIT, pulled in $1.1 billion in a single trading day, highlighting growing institutional adoption. Also, the market anticipation. The FOMC meeting has sparked market anticipation, with investors expecting a potential interest rate cut. There are also political optimisms. Donald Trump's presidential election victory has ignited a new wave of enthusiasm in the market, with promises to position the U.S. as a global leader in digital assets. But as the market continues to evolve, it's essential to keep a close eye on Bitcoin's price movement and the underlying factors driving its growth. Before we look at the all-share index, the markets, the trading market, and the world of trade, let's take a quick break and we'll return to look at the all-share index closing trade day yesterday in the red, falling by 423.48 points to settle at 105,375.69. After the break, please stay with us.
That global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world.
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the all-share index closed the trading day on 18th March 2025 in the red, falling by 423.48 points to settle at 105,375.69. This decline marks 3 consecutive days of losses, translating to a 0.40% decrease from the previous day's closing figure of 105,799.17. Accompanying this downturn was a significant drop in trading volume, which fell by 26.7% from 477.5 million shares traded the day before, just 349.9 million. Market capitalization followed suit, closing the day at 66.07 trillion, down from 66.3 trillion naira, as the index held tightly to the 66 trillion threshold. Amid these fluctuations, NAMET and MNFM stood out as impressive gainers, rising by 10% and 9.99% respectively. The market summary: current ASI 105,375.69 points, previous ASI 105,799.17 points. Day change minus 0.40%. Year-to-date performance plus 2.38%. Volume traded 349.9 million shares. Market cap 66.07 trillion naira. Top gainers: NAMET up 10.00% to 2.97 naira, while NNFM up 9.99% to 79.80 naira. We had Custodian up 9.69% to 21.50 naira. We had Sunusar up 7.99% to 5 naira, while Guineans up 7.69% to 0.70 naira. For the top losers, we had BUA Cement, down 10% to 83.7 naira. We had Ella Lakes down 4.82% to 3.16 naira. We had Rigalins down 4.41% to 0.65 naira. And Wema Bank went down by 4.19% to 10.30 naira. We had Omotech down 2.99% to 0.65 naira. For trading volume, daily trading volume slipped by 26.7%, decreasing from 477.5 million shares traded the day before to 349.9 million. Now, Access Corp emerged as a dominant player in the market, exchanging an impressive 36.7 million shares, closely followed by Univinsure, which recorded 30 million shares. Fidelity Bank also showcased strong performance, trading 28.8 million shares. We had Jais Bank and Zenith Bank contributing 22 million and 19.5 million shares respectively. For trading volume, in terms of trading value, Zenith Bank stood out as the leading performer, facilitating transactions worth 929.9 million naira, while Access Corp added 847.2 million naira to the daily total, while GT Corp and Ardell contributed 815.6 million naira and 803 million naira respectively. NACO rounded off the trading value figures with 759.3 million naira. Suit and figures performance. In the suit category, BUA Cement experienced a notable decline of 10%, while Owando fell by 0.69%. Within the food sector, only Zenith Bank managed to gain, climbing by 0.42%. UBA shared 2.61% and Firsthold slipped by 2.28%, while additionally Access Corp declined by 0.64% and GTCO fell by 0.25%. The market outlook: the all-share index is in a retracement phase as it strives to maintain the 100 and 5,000 threshold. If the market is not deemed overbought, this environment could present attractive opportunities for investment seeking to buy at lower prices. We'll take a final break, and when we return, we'll wrap up the conversation around the stock market. Please stay with us.
Know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world.
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Well, many thanks for staying with us. Let's just quickly do a rundown of some of our focus today on Business Point as we wrap up. We told you Meta has announced that Llama Impact Grant, a program aimed at empowering sub-Saharan African startups and researchers to leverage artificial intelligence for social impact, and that the initiative is part of Meta's ongoing effort to promote AI-driven solutions that address pressing challenges in Africa. And the key objective is to foster AI innovation that addresses social impact issues across Africa, to also support the development of AI-driven solutions that promote economic development, science, innovation, public services, education, and skills development. We went on looking at Bitcoin surging past $82,000 as FOMC meeting sparks market anticipation that the Bitcoin that this surge is part of a larger trend, with Bitcoin's market capitalization exceeding 1.6 trillion naira. I beg your pardon, $1.6 trillion, and institutional investment reaching new heights, and that the price historically has rallied after FOMC's meetings, with some analysts predicting a potential breach of the $100,000 $100,000 marks, and the current market sentiment is bullish, with investors optimistic about Bitcoin's future prospect. And then we looked at the all-share index closing trading day yesterday in red, yesterday, which happens to be 18th March 2025, in the red, falling by 423.48 points to settle at 105,375.69, with the decline marking 3 consecutive days of losses, translating to a 0.40% decrease from the previous day closing figure of 105,799.17. And then accompanying this downturn was a significant drop in trading volume, which fell by 26.7% from 477.5 million shares traded the day before to just 349.9 million. And that market capitalization followed suit, closing the day at 66.7 trillion, down from 66.3 trillion, as the index held tightly to the 66 trillion naira threshold. We also highlighted that amid these fluctuations, NAMET and NNFM stood out as impressive gainers, while the market, for the market summary, current ASI was 105,375.69 points, while the previous ASI was 105,799.17 points. And we also looked at top 5 gainers, happening to be NAMET up 10% to 2.97 naira, and NNFM up 9.99% to 79.80 naira. We had Custodian up 9.69% to 21.50 naira. We had Tunisia up 7.99% to 5 naira. We had Guineans up 7.69% to 0.70 naira. And for the top losers, we had BUA Cement down 10% to 83.70 naira. We had LLX down 4.82% to 3.16 naira. We had Regalins down 4.41% to 0.65 naira. And Rema Bank down 4.19% to 10.30 naira. And then we had Omatech down 2.99% to 0.65 naira. And we told you that the all-share index for the market outlook is in a retracement phase as it strives to maintain the 105,000 threshold, and that if the market is not deemed overbought, this environment could present attractive opportunities for investors seeking to buy at lower prices. Well, that's how much we can take today on Business Point. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and all the handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching, and see you again.